Hey, it's Danny and the Lions Den. What's going on? What's going on? How you doing? Happy Tuesday. You all right? You all right? Come on in. Come on in. Let's talk it up. Let's chop it up. Let's discuss it, fix it up, pick it up, and flip it down. Hot topic of the day is training your brain. How can you train your brain? So we're going to unpack it. We're going to unzip it, figure it out, put the pieces together, and have ease. So let's breathe in. Breathe you. So today is solar plexus, yellow. Tuesday is yellow, solar plexus. Affirmations. I am aware of myself. I am confident. I am strong. I am powerful. I am grateful for who I am. I seek opportunities that allow my strength to persevere. I am grateful for this moment right now. Again, this is Libra season. Happy birthdays to the Aries. I want to shout them out, and I didn't realize this, but I didn't really give any words of encouragement or growth or tips or techniques for the Libras or the Aries, and I want to add that in today. So Libras, they are the one sign that are on the zodiac scale are actually the scales. So they are, the judge. They are usually judging, typically friends and family and coworkers and everybody, because they are the scales. They are the balancers, and that's typically what they do. That's their position in the zodiac scale, is to provide social justice. In doing so, I feel that that is a job that, like any judge, you begin to have an intuitive uh, interaction with people. And I feel that it's not something that I know how to do, because that's not, innately my zodiac, nor is it a job that I wish to have. I don't want to be a judge in general. So doing that is different. I don't have something to say in regards on how to be a judge, but being that that is a zodiac trait of the Libra, maybe researching how to be a good judge of character, or how to be a balanced judge and a fair judge, and a judge who is, and I mean, that's something that comes innately with that zodiac, so it's already there. But being mindful of how, what level that is, and where you could put on a different hat, because the judge has to go home to a family, you know what I mean? So it's not 24 hours, even though a zodiac Libra is a 24-hour thing, because that's who you are. But how do you turn that off, and where do you find balance on how that interacts with your interactions with people? That's different. Uh, and law of attraction. Wishes for other people are still wishes for yourself. So being mindful of what you wish for other people, even if it's in the name of, I think, yesterday's episode, even if it's in the name of care or love or worry, don't be mindful of how you wish for other people. Make sure it's aligned with what they want. And if they don't know what they want, then maybe the wish would be, I hope and I wish that they find what they want in the best way and in the best time and in the best manner. Because honestly, a judge is there to kind of, mediate, a big mediator, pretty much. In some cases, the judge does tell you, okay, well, you have to do this, you have to do community service, you have to do jail time, you have to, volunteer somewhere, you have to do something, but most of it is like a big mediator, keeping things fair. And so keeping that in mind, maybe just doing research on how you can improve that for the Aries, because it's their half year birthday. you're the leader of the zodiac. So how to be a leader that people want to follow, you know? It's wild that I'm actually deciding to do that today, because earlier today I watched Mariah Carey, and a beautiful entertainer, singer, writer, mother, wife, I'm sure. Um, and you look at the history of her, and she is an Aries, and for a bit there she was like a diva status. And you look at her history coming out of music, and she was going through in the beginning of it. She didn't really have much say so on her life and what she could do and how she could do it. So to come out of that and you just have this angst about you, or I'm gonna finally I get to tell people what to do. It's not that it was right what she did, but you understand it. So for the Aries, being a leader and being heard and being seen and being trusted is big for an Aries, and I get that. I've met a few, and trust is very big with them, because if you don't trust them, then they feel, I don't know, depleted. I can't speak because I'm not an Aries either, but I know that being trusted means a lot to them. And boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. So, my tip for the Aries is to research on how to be a leader, how to be, and you don't have to be a leader of anything, but that is your zodiac. You're the first of the zodiac. So naturally, you want people to follow your instruction, or follow your advice, or follow your tips, or follow your lead. And whether it's friends or family, or coworkers, or employees, or whatever the case may be, you want people to, at the bottom of it, to trust your judgment, because you have good judgment, and you want others to trust that. So my tip would be to research leaders who were favorable to those around them. There's been all types of leaders in our history, so there's tons to choose from, but finding one that fits who you are, that you feel can express what you have to share in the best way, is helpful. So now that we got the birthdays out of the way today, um, training your brain, that's big, right? So um, there's many ways to train your brain. There's many ways to train in general. Whether you're practicing for a spelling test, a math test, or any kind of school test, or a track meet, or um, an interview. So you're practicing for an interview, you're doing mock interviews, um, training for you're a celebrity, and you gotta know what to say and how to react when certain people are asking you questions. You're there to celebrate your new bakery open as a celebrity, and they want to ask about your miscarriage, or your divorce, or your speeding ticket. And you're like, normally without practice, you would have been like, I'm here. And because you've prepared and you had practice and you had training, you know that they might ask that question, and it might catch you off guard, but you have a practice, not practice, but you it is practice, but you have been prepared for those type of questions. And that takes training, that takes time, and someone supporting you during that journey. So having a good support system while you train your brain is helpful. And sometimes you may be the only support cheerleader you got, because some people may not be into that. Training your brain, nope, you need to go to job, work your 9 to 5, pay your bills, and that's it. I didn't train my brain. Cut school at 7th grade, and look at me. I got my tractor business, and that works for some people. It does. It's not to say that if you don't train your brain that you won't be successful. That's not the message. It's but even that is trained, because they knew. And what the training is, just knowing for sure what you want. Um, and that's what training your brain does, is just allow you to feel more clear in the decisions that you're making. So if someone that says that, like, oh, look at me, I'm successful, they had a great idea of what they wanted and they saw it through. that's the training that you would be doing, is knowing what you want for sure. Sometimes we end up in these jobs where we're all complaining, and honestly, there's no way out of that if you get sucked into that like group of people, and yeah, this one and that one, and you guys start a gossiping group and everyone's talking about everyone and the lack of work they're doing, and you just you kind of get excited to talk about it, and you expect it. Wonder what's going to happen today. Wonder who's not going to do this, that, and the third. Watch, I'm going to have to do their paperwork. Watch. I don't want to watch for that. That's not what I really want. I want to watch for me enjoying my time while I'm here and hoping that something else comes along that pays double, triple, quadruple. I don't know, and maybe even amounts that I've never even made before. But I want to enjoy my time while I'm here. And I want to enjoy the people that also decided to come in here to work. So I have a different outlook, and that's not something that most people have or are on board with, because they've become comfortable expecting to see others not do so good. I don't want to expect that. I want my coworkers to do awesome. I want them to enjoy coming into work. And I know we get tired, bodies might ache, head might be hurting, home life might be crazy. Somebody might have got past you on a promotion or something. So there's tons of struggles and tons of different scenarios. But training your brain to be more geared toward what you want takes time, takes effort, takes dedication, takes research, takes curiosity. It takes a certain amount of childlike energy to be fun with it, to be playful, to be how much can I train my brain today? How much have I trained? How much have I applied? And asking people questions. It's so fun to ask people questions, because you never know what you're gonna get, and if it's aligned with what you think, and if you resonate with it, and if it doesn't, and if they showed you an answer that you don't like, and while they're speaking, that what you do want comes to you, you're like, ooh, I don't want that, but I do know what I want now. Okay, I got it. I'm so glad I talked to you. And they're like, huh, what? What did I say? And it's like, oh, it's nothing what you. I mean, it is everything you said, but it's more so I got a revelation, and a lot of times that comes in the shower too. Sometimes, or journaling, or listening to music, or just doing something random, washing the dishes. It's got something to do with running water. Maybe you need to go by the lake. But anywho, it's a journey worth taking to train your brain. And training your brain, again, like any topic that I have, is different for everybody. You already may be the store manager of a restaurant and you got things going on, but home life is a mess. And you may have an affirmation that, okay, yeah, when your work life's going great, your home life is a crazy mess. And I mean, that does happen sometimes, but what if you can create an affirmation and a way to train your brain that affirmation that you've created and that belief isn't one that you want? What if you first just start saying it every day? I can have an excellent work life and an excellent home life. What if I had, what would I feel like if I had an excellent home life and an excellent work life? What would that feel like? Some people would go into it for a quick second and be like, no, but gotta face reality. It's not gonna happen. And it's like for that, it's like 1 times 0. when you get what you want, and then but it's not gonna really happen. It's like you've just added a 0. And if you were adding, that's awesome, because it's still gonna give you the want. You just gotta add the. But when you're multiplying and you multiply that 1 by 0, you get 0, unfortunately. You get nothing. You get what you already had. So if you can't figure out the how, you don't have to add that, multiply it by 0, just so that you don't feel irritated because it's not here yet. Just have the one, the want, and maybe multiply it by two or three down the road when you meet two or three people. You know what I mean? Or maybe add that one when you meet that one person that comes in and is like, you know what? You're the store manager. I'm a store manager. And I feel like I can't date anybody because we're always so busy and they don't get it. They don't understand my life and they don't understand what it takes. And making time to date them is different because they think that I'm supposed to just know how to get off on time, and you guys are finishing each other's sentences and you respect each other, you get it, you make time, you make do, and voila, you have this awesome home life, you have this awesome work life, and then you just go from there. And people will be excited to add that zero in there and multiply it real quick, even if they come out of that, even if they do allow themselves to have that, the back of their mind, their subconscious, because it's a belief, it's got motion, you know what I mean, that it won't happen. Will come in and creep in, but we got to face reality. Reality is right now. Yes, I get that, but your right now doesn't include your future. You don't know what's going to happen in the future, so you can at least want it right now. And that's one of the ways to train your brain. It might not have to be with love or finances. It could be with health. It could be with communication skills. It could be with setting goals in general. Like, I think I mentioned in a video or two ago that I didn't really set goals before maybe the last 5 years. Uh, Setting goals, it was always told to me to have low expectations so you won't get hurt. And I get that, even that, I get it, because if you don't have any expectations or low ones, then you can just, ease by and keep it moving, keep it going, you know what I mean? But I'm okay with having expectations, and I'm okay with them not being met in my idea of when they should be met. So I continue to have them with being okay. Like, I don't know, great example is my father used to be a barber, and a lot of his decorations was of the Marley Hill family and his artwork and other inspirational people in his life, in his area of cutting. And prior to that, when he was a kid, a cousin or family member used to run a car over his head saying barber, barber. And so looking at my dad's life, you see where as a kid someone said he was gonna, playing with the car, they said, he was gonna be a barber. He became the barber, and then he had the Marley Hill decorations plus his artwork, and now, he's gotten to meet them as well at this point. So it's wild how life happens and how it takes time, and some of it is innocent, like just a decoration, and some of it is miracle, magical. You know what I mean? And for me, I realize the importance of my brain being aligned with my my goals. I look at my brain as like an assistant. you know, People have physical assistants, but the first assistant is your brain. Um, I used to affirm that I had bad memory. I was bad with names because I've heard so many other people say that. And I realized that memory is a skill. It's not something you have or lose, or, well, I mean, if a skill you don't use it, you lose it. But memory is a skill. And so if you just go by what you were given at birth and never really improve it, of course it might diminish, plus, and then if you affirm it every time you meet someone, oh, I'm bad with, hey, I'm learning how, now my thing to tell people is I'm learning how to have better memory, but I might, forget your name in the interim. I do have some tools and techniques, but I'm learning how to use those. So I may have to ask you your name again, but forgive me. And they're like, oh yeah, they usually say I'm bad with names too. So I'm like, I didn't say that way. Well, you giving us, you mean, so I realized that training your brain, even that process, like I learned the memory techniques, but it's still taking me a while to wrap my head around how to do it. And I'm okay with that. And maybe I need to crash course on the session, like to be there hands on. Um, but I have the technique, I have the tools. It's just applying them more consecutively, more consistently, and I'm okay with that. I know that that takes time and needs to get me momentum, and it's not many people around me that have given me examples in person, um, but I enjoy seeing it as sparingly as it is when you meet people who remember names and remember things about you. So many people remember so many things about me. For example, when I used to go out, when I lived in Virginia, I used to go out a lot, and people would remember me. Um, they would remember my name. They would remember my outfit. When they met me, they would remember so many details that it was just like,